Happy birthday. What's going on? You wasn't picking your phone up. I was trying to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be here. That's why
we're just having a birthday party with the family.
That's why she wasn't answering the phone.
That's
why she wasn't answering the phone, because you shouldn't be
family,
here.
Right? Family. This was
you shouldn't be here.
Family.
He set this up kind of, so.
Right.
I mean,
okay.
Right. Because you ain't been here.
What?
Because you ain't came. Come on.
Yo, what are you doing?
We're not about to do this in front of
us.
Yeah, we're not about to do this in front of us.
You have not been here. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. We're not even doing this. Come on.
Come on, man. You know
hey,
come on.
We
ain't about to do this in front of my son. Talk to him. King,
please.
We family. We're going to meet outside.
Please talk to him.
No, we don't have to do that.
Talk to him.
No,
Go ahead.
let's finish this.
Go ahead. I'm going to let you talk to him. Because if I talk to him, it's not.
I got presents outside.
It's not going to be
No, you haven't been here. We'll do this later. We can do this another day, another time.
I got presents.
Can you tell him? Can you talk to him?
Bro.
You're not doing it. Bro, you
We
ain't
can
been
do this
here.
another time, though.
Come on, we need
all these presents. He's been here.
Over here
No.
You ain't been here.
Oh, my God.
It's stepping, bro. Like,
oh, my
this
God.
is not even, I set this up.
You coming to open these presents, bro? Wet, my boy.
You wasn't even here for his graduation, but you are. What you mean you got presents? You weren't even here for the graduation.
You have not been here.
Bro, hold on.
Bro,
you missed everything.
He started.
And then you showed to his birthday party, talking about you got some presents for him, bro?
Okay.
Bro,
He's been here for him. He's been here for King.
He don't look like
He's providing.
It's my son now.
Okay?
This is my son now. You ain't been here.
You need to leave. You need to leave.
You ain't been here. This is my son now. Come on, Keisha.
You really make yourself look bad right now. You making yourself look bad right now.
Bro,
my son,
Oh my God.
you doing bro, hold on. Bro, you doing it in front of your son. But you doing this in front of him though.
Come holler at me over here.
Come holler at you about what? What's up?
Bro, hey, King.
You ain't been here. What you mean? You ain't been here.
Y'all tripping, boy. King.
You tripping.
Come on, man.
You coming up here after how long?
You ain't even picking the
After
phone up.
how
I'm trying to
long?
talk to my
Look
son.
at his
Happy
face.
birthday.
He barely remembers you.
Hey, he said, what's up to me? He know what's up.
God, you're not taking King out of here. I promise you that.
You're not doing this to him. You're not doing this to him. Leave.
You tripping, boy.
Leave.
Hey.
That boy know who been here. That boy know who been here for him. And you ain't been here for him.
Hey, King.
Leave.
You call him all you want. He ain't coming out here.
Hey, King. Hey, wait, come on. Hey,
he ain't coming out here.
You making this worse.
Boy, you tripping,
ain't
boy.
coming
My
out here.
son's birthday, boy, for real, boy.
Talk later.
Hey, boy.
That's my son now.
Where he was at? For real.
Go back to wherever he was at. Every time you come over here with this, go back to where you was at. Go back to where you was at.
You about to really do this for son's birthday? Huh? Baby, who you talking to, boy?
Nah, me.
You talking to both of us?
Nah, she's talking to me. She's talking to me. She's not your baby no more. She's not your baby no more, and King not your baby no more. I got both of your babies now. I got both of your babies now. I got both of your babies now.
You know I got the bread, boy. Boy, you know I got the bread, boy.
We're not doing this.
I'll expose it.
We're not doing this.
Boy, you know I'll expose it, boy.
How did he even know? Hold on. How did he even know we was over here?
Hey,
Hey,
you know I got the tension, boy. Hey, boy, I expose it. Yeah, this way. Hey, boy, I send everything. Boy, I send it to him. Bro, last week and everything. Hey, last week and everything.
How'd you find out we was even on here now, bro? You don't want nothing to do with you. Ain't want nothing to do with you. You ain't been here.
Last week, you hear me?
No.
Oh, now you in love? Now
We ain't get for you. I promise you.
I'm gonna see you tonight. Hey, you know you gonna call me tonight.
There's gonna be problems. I promise you that. King not going nowhere with you. It's done. It's over. We out. Come on. Back in the house.
So I see a lot of problems on both sides of this. The first thing is, it doesn't necessarily seem like nobody really cares about what the kid actually wants. Not one person stopped, at least in the beginning, to say, hey, what do you think about this? What do you want? And there's a possibility that the mom is sick of the child or the little boy being let down or lied to. So the mom probably already knows what it is, because in a lot of these situations, dad is like, yo, I'm gonna come see you. I'm gonna come pick you up. I'm gonna come do this. And he don't show up. So at some point, the mom gets to the point where she doesn't even allow anything to happen because she needs to protect the son's feelings because the dad keeps letting them down. Even though they don't check in with the child, it may be because they all are sick of the dad giving false hope.
Deeper Discussion card game is meant to give you and other players deep understanding of how we all deal with relationship, when or if things get serious. One of the biggest reasons why people break up is because of underlying family issues. This game can be played with either 2 people or an entire group, so have fun.
Question number 1. What is the one thing you wanted but didn't receive when you were young? Name a time when money was the main factor why a relationship went bad. What is the most annoying attribute about the opposite sex?
Deeper Discussions Dating Edition. Again, these cards are good for vetting a potential boyfriend, a potential girlfriend, a potential husband, a potential wife. It'll even tell you what's wrong with your sneaky link. If you and your sneaky link need to have a conversation, these are the cards.
And you can fix yourself and figure out the why.
The texture of these cards are so soft and silky, by the way. Like
they ain't gonna get
really
wore out.
Durable.
With all that being said, please check in with the child and see what the child wants and needs, even at that point, because a girl or a boy can easily turn around and ignore all of the letdowns and turn around and say, I still want my daddy. I still want to see my daddy. So in this situation, it's a small possibility that the boy wanted to see his dad on his birthday. It's his birthday. Keep that in mind. It's his birthday. And nobody seemed to care what the person having a birthday party actually wanted. What if the little boy actually wanted his dad to be there? Nobody checked in with him. The second thing is to the father. You can't just pull up and just say, hey, I'm here. What is wrong with you? You can't just pull up at somebody's birthday party like that. Like, what type of dude are you? The third thing, at this particular point, when there's a new man of the house, which is the other guy who's standing in front of the woman.
You ain't been here.
Oh my God.
You've been stepping, bro. Like,
oh my
this
God.
is not even, I set this up.
You coming to open these presents, bro? What, my boy?
You wasn't even here for his graduation, but you are. What you mean you got presents? You weren't even here for the graduation.
Been here.
Bro, hold on.
Don't,
You missed everything.
And
And then you showed to his birthday party, talking about you got some presents for him, bro?
He now, the baby daddy, has to talk with him, not her, him. Because him calling his baby mama can cause problems between the baby mama and the new guy. Just looking at this situation, it looks like the new guy has been around for a while. So why are you still calling the baby mama instead of asking for the man's phone number and you and the man have a talk about what needs to happen and what doesn't need to happen? If he would have did that, it would not have been an issue because the two men, keyword two men, would have actually took care of this away from the mom and away from the son. Because the thing about it is, baby mamas and baby daddies, they don't usually get along, and it's usually personal reasons why they don't get along. But if you add a person that is somewhat not as biased as the mom, because the baby mom, he probably cheated, he probably did this, he probably did that. She probably still harbors anger and resentment for this man. But if you sit down and talk to the boyfriend or the husband or whoever, he doesn't have the same resentment and anger towards the ex like the woman does. And he's a man, so he's going to be able to rationalize things a lot better. I'm always going to say the men talk with the men and the woman needs to just be on the side, because the bottom line is she's not going to be rational enough to make proper decisions involving situations of the heart. So his job as the estranged dad is to talk to the new male that seemingly has been around for a while. You talk to him, you negotiate with him, because y'all are both rational, logical people. And now y'all can get a better understanding of what needs to go on next. The next thing, for this man to say, they my babies now.
Come on, been here for King.
He don't look like
He's providing.
It's my son now.
Okay?
This is my son now. You ain't been here.
You need to leave.
Is totally out of line. You don't tell nobody, period, no matter who they are, these are my kids now. That is a lie. That man is their father. And at any point, you as the stepdad can turn around and one, get hurt physically, and two, get hurt emotionally. You know why? Because at some point, the little boy or little girl can just snap out of it and say, I want my real dad. Do you remember the video I did with the stepdad? The stepdad was there for 10 years. And next thing you know, the daughter grew up and was about to get married, and she wanted her real dad to give her away at the wedding out of nowhere.
But tell me why my stepdaughter proceeds to stand up and announce that her real dad is giving her away at the wedding. The wedding that I'm paying for in my house.
So you as a stepdad can put in all this work, all this time with this child that's not yours. But at some point, if your kid that is not your kid decides to change their mind and say, I want my dad to give me away at my wedding, I want my dad to do this, I want my dad in my life, you as a stepdad have no choice but to respect what the child wants and get out the way. And it's going to hurt. So don't just run around saying, these my kids now, because those kids will easily turn on you because you're not their daddy. So that man was out of line for saying that. The next thing, you can easily see that this is her house and not the guy's house. You can't be up in a woman's house talking about these are my kids, this is my this is my that. This is not your house. So the first thing you have to do as a man is to put these people in your house so you can have jurisdiction over your house. You can't have jurisdiction over a woman's house because that's her house, her apartment, her whatever. You as a man, if you want to have jurisdiction over this woman and these kids, you got to put them in your house. You at her house. And the reason why you could tell this is the case is because the dude just walked in the house. He's been there before. And the last thing is, this whole situation could have went violent. You do not be in no man's face talking crazy in a woman's house, not in your house, in a woman's house. And there's people every day who literally lose their own freedom out of disrespect. You don't disrespect that man by saying all these things and then being in her house saying it. Think about this. That man went back in her house and that man went back to his car. He could have came back with something and did something crazy. And now the child ain't got no daddy, the child ain't got no mama, and the child ain't got no stepdaddy. Why? We as men got to stop all this feminine stuff because the stepdaddy in this situation was almost as feminine as the real daddy was. Both of them was wrong, and both of them were acting like women with all this trash talking, all because of both of them being in their feminine energy, mouthing off at each other. You have a conversation with this man to the side and say, all right, bro, I understand. I understand. I didn't see or hear any understanding from either group. I understand you want to see your child, but how about we do this instead? Or either check in with the child and say, what do you want? We got to be a little bit more understanding of the other party instead of always wanting to be right. If we ever want things to work out in these situations, we got to be more understanding of both groups instead of just wanting to be right. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.